Well, hey there guys, this is Vlad from Review Retro Gear, and today I wanted to review the LEMS Trailhead version 2. Some really awesome all-around city/hiking shoes. They were sent to us by LEMS for free for a review, but this is not a paid review. I actually requested these shoes from LEMS because I saw them and I really liked them, so keep that in mind, but we're going to try to keep it as unbiased as we possibly can. So we'll start off with kind of the specs about the shoes. They are considered to be lightweight or ultralight. The men's are an average of 11 ounces or so. They have a very small amount of drop. So from the heel to the toe, they drop about 4 millimeters. So it's not like barefoot. It's not zero drop, but it's much less than the standard of about 12 millimeters from the heel to the toe drop. They are made out of synthetic material for the most part, I believe. They have a nice rubber sole and all synthetic uppers. The toe box here is mesh, so they're not waterproof. They're pretty breathable. They have some nice reinforcing, but this is all synthetic material, I believe, on the back. They have an EVA midsole in the middle, so it gives you a little bit of plush. And the soles, the footbeds, are made out of polyurethane. They're also a really nice breathable polyurethane material. The insides also have a nice mesh, but it's also very durable. And in general, the materials on here are very durable. I've been wearing these for a couple months now. I've taken them out on a lot of hikes, and I've been pretty rough with them. And they have been holding up really well. Like, they're a little dirty right now, but you can see they are still holding up really well. So, kind of the purpose of these shoes, they're not a really intense hiking shoe. Don't go backpacking in these. But they're perfect as a combination of something you can wear in town and then basically always be ready to go on a hike or on an adventure. They're like casual enough to not look like hiking boots, but they got the features and specs of a good hiking shoe. They have pretty good support on the bottom. The tread is really nice and pretty knobby. It's pretty grippy. Later on we'll cut in some footage of me testing these on different terrains and different surfaces, and you can see how well they grip. You can see the lugs on the bottom are a little more aggressive than what you would find on a typical like town shoe or like a sneaker. They're pretty nice big lugs, really well directioned for good grip. The toes here have a nice material, and it actually holds up really well to abrasion. I've scuffed it on rock so many times like this. The rubber here, the rubber soles that come up, don't peel off. A lot of cheaper shoes, after a while of walking and movement and like scuffing, this will start peeling off. It's glued really, really well all the way around. Nothing's peeling off. The mesh on top is actually really tough too. It's not kind of that one that'll start fraying and get like frizzy and will puncture easily. It's really breathable, but really tough. Like a nice thick material. On the back, there's a little bit of mesh here too. The tongues are not sealed, so they're not waterproof and not really dustproof. So if you look here, they basically move freely, so the hole goes all the way through. So keep that in mind. Inside, I mentioned already the soles. They're removable. You can pull them out to wash. The inside of the shoes has this really nice mesh as well, and these shoes are kind of interesting because they feel soft and plush, but the materials are really high quality and they don't wear easily. Like, it'll take a while for this to wear through from your heel or shoe in there. The laces are also really nice and thick. They'll last a while. They don't fray really easily. However, one of my few complaints about these shoes are the laces also, because at least the way I tie them, they're maybe a little bit too slippery, and they will untie if I'm wearing them for a whole day. Like, they might untie once during the day, or they'll get loose and I have to tighten them. But I just tie my shoes with a single like overhand or like a square knot. So I do it kind of like this. That's how I tie it. I know a lot of people will use a double knot, and that'll probably take care of them ever getting loose. But otherwise, really nice laces. My only other complaint I think about the shoes might be the softness of the soles. If you wear them a lot in town, I think the soles might wear out a little faster than maybe some other rubbers like Vibram or some of the rubbers that Solomon makes or some other companies like Merrell. But it is really grippy, and if you want a more grippy shoe, it's going to have to be a little bit softer. So there's that trade-off between having more grip to go out on the trails and have traction there versus wearing it a lot on the pavement and then it'll wear out. So you can kind of see actually the front, kind of the toes up here are starting to get a little bit worn, but there's still quite a lot of life left in them. They are, like I mentioned, lightweight shoes, and that's kind of LEMS' kind of claim to fame, is that they make light, packable shoes, and these do live up to that. They have that same feature where you can roll them up into basically like a sausage or like a little roll like that, and you just pack them up and then put them back on and they're just good to go. Put together, they're actually quite packable. You can pack them away in your backpack. They get pretty flat. Check this out. So if you were just to do that, like, pretty compact little package. And like I said, I've worn them all day. They're really comfortable, really breathable. You don't get sweaty, you don't get stinky feet in them, at least as long as I've been wearing them. But there is a trade-off for them being breathable, so keep that in mind. So overall, quite a nice little trail shoe. Let's go, I'll cut in some footage here of me testing on different terrains like mud and snow and rocks, and then we'll wrap this video up. So we are out in Multnomah Falls testing out these Trailhead shoes. It's been raining all night and all day, so the trail is just one big muddy mess, as you can see. And we're hiking up to the very top of the falls, and yeah, look at this stuff, it's just muck. And these shoes are actually doing surprisingly well. That tread really locks into the muddy track, and just when you plant your foot, it doesn't move. So they've actually been doing surprisingly well for how muddy and mucky this trail is. I'm really surprised. They have traction for a lot longer than I thought they would. Like, they don't really slip. So a little mud test for you there. So I decided to test out the Trailhead shoes here after class. The river level has dropped drastically, so I thought I'd do some exploring along the riverbed, along these slippery, slimy rocks, and shoes are doing great. Super grippy, they don't slip, comfortable, even on all the uneven terrain. And the great part is I wore them at school all day, and I can go out and do some adventuring right after class without even having to change. Feel really confident in them. Just having some fun. All sorts of random things laying around out here. Okay, so you've seen how these shoes perform in wet, rocky conditions and in mud. Let's see how they perform on grip on a steep slope. So you can see these rocks are pretty slanted. Pretty nice incline. Let's see. Okay, here we go. And I'm a really bad toe walker, so my feet don't go down all the way. So this is just me walking up on my tippy toes pretty much. And you can see that, man, they really grip really nicely. It's actually raining a little bit out here too. So the rocks aren't all the way dry, but just check it out. Super grippy, haven't slipped at all. I've been out here running around on all the rocks. They're doing really well. All right, well, hopefully that gives you an idea kind of how these perform out on the trail on different terrains. They are quite grippy. I'm actually surprised at how well they grip the trail. Hopefully that was an informative review. If you do have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. If you have any comments, also leave those down there. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And hopefully that was informative. And if you want to pick some of these up, links will also be down in the description to find them on Amazon or also the LEMS website. As always, have a great day. Don't forget to praise God, and I'll see you in the next video.